Hello, everybody. Josh Neighbors here. It is a crossover between Locked On Nationals and Locked On Marlins. Peter Pratt is with us tonight. Nationals Marlins series coming up this week. We're going to preview all the action, see where both teams are at, what to expect, and more. It's all coming your all's way next.
You are Locked On Nationals, your daily Washington Nationals podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, once again, this is a crossover between Locked On Marlins and Locked On Nationals. These three teams have a series coming up this week, so we thought we'd join forces, Peter Pratt and I, to preview this series, a three-game series coming up in our nation's capital, or at least my nation's capital. Peter Pratt of Locked On Marlins, how are we doing, man?
I'm doing well. This is a late one for me. We're approaching midnight, so we're burning the midnight oil here over in the UK. But it just is what it is. Baseball season is here. Games are on. I am losing sleep, but in a good way. The fish, they've made a nice little start. Actually, nice start.
Yeah, I would say it's like pretty nice. Like, if you're a Nationals fan, you haven't been keeping up with how everything's been going. At least for the Miami Marlins right now, they are in second place now. Look, this NL East should be better than it is. I'm not sure why it's not, but the same thing happened last year too. The Marlins are in second at 7-8. So how have they been getting it done? I guess relatively speaking, for a 7-8 start.
The way they're getting it done is beating the guys in the division. So we started out west and got tonked by the Giants and tonked by the Angels, and you're like, oh boy, here we go. This is going to be a tough season. And then a nice 4-game series against the Phils, beat them 3-1. And then we went into Atlanta and got a win as well this weekend. So we're playing well in the division, which has not been the case for the past few years. Other than the Phils, we love playing them. But Marlins playing some good in-division ball. And there's been no cupcakes on the schedule. We're sitting at 7-8. But no cupcake games, playing a lot of tough teams, a lot of playoff teams from last year. So the pitching has been... We talked about it a few weeks ago, Josh. We know the pitching on paper is there. And it's delivering. What you've got is Sandy Alcantara is doing Sandy things, but you've got Pablo Lopez, the ERA leader in Major League Baseball right now, and that's been a real nice one. And Luzardo as well has been very, very nice. So the pitching's been there, and then you've just got Jazz Chisholm just having an absolute superstar start of the year, which is great to see. Some of the free agent bats have been a little bit cold, but Jazz is carrying it on the offense, and the pitching just doing its thing. It's been fun.
So what's interesting is because you look at the runs scored for them, 59, which is the lowest in the National League East. But the runs allowed is 58. So it's plus one run, but that just shows you like the defense or the pitching rather, and to some extent the defense as well has been doing really well. The only other team in the National League East that's better than them is New York Mets, and the Mets have been off to an awesome start on kind of all facets for them. But for the Marlins, like this is kind of what you and I talked about, right? Pitching's delivered, and the lineup were like, not sure if we're sold, but but the pitching's delivering.
It's the blueprint, right? There's been a lot of one-run games too, like a couple of blown saves away from being over 500 already. I mean, it kind of goes both ways, but it's just tight games. Start out against the Giants. You know what the Giants are? They're basically the Marlins, but slightly better. They lean on their pitching. The lineup is, it's okay. The Angels actually played well against the Fish as well. And then you go against the Phils, and we handled the Phils easily. Like, their pitching was not good. And, the Marlins played well against them. So, yeah, it's been, I think, as advertised is how I describe it. We spoke a few weeks back, and not too much has changed. It's just, you're relying on the starters to go deep, and they have been. The ninth inning is still a problem. Like I spoke about, they didn't solidify the ninth. It's been a bit of, an adventure. Anthony Bender's given first crack. He's got 2 L's, a blown save and 1 save. He's then hurt his hip. Tanner Scott's had a save, then almost tried to blow a game last night. So it's been an adventure in the ninth, no doubt. But the Marlins are playing Marlins baseball, which is low scoring, pitching duels galore. If you like your pitching duels, then this is the team for you.
I do because the games go faster when that happens.
They go quick, right?
As somebody
End
who is
my
a
pain.
as somebody who is a play-by-play person currently for a baseball team, at least the college ranks, the
Yeah.
pitchers' duels, they get you home a bit quicker. So this weekend, or this week, we're going to see three guys. It's going to be Alcantara, Lopez, and Rogers. Those will be the three guys that face off against the Nationals. Talk about how those guys have started off, because I mean, Alcantara is he's coming off a really awesome outing against the Cardinals, I believe, and then you mentioned Lopez. He's been lights out so far, and then also Trevor Rogers too. I'm not familiar with how he's done this year, but let the folks know what can they expect from these three guys this weekend or this week. I keep saying weekend.
Yeah, I mean, Sandy's been vintage Sandy, and the Marlins offense has been vintage Marlins offense when Sandy's been pitching, i.e. it just hasn't come alive. And same happened against the Cardinals last time out. And so it's ground balls, it's velocity, it's Ks, it's changeups, it's everything Sandy Alcantara is now. He signed his extension, and you're looking to see what happens next with Sandy. Does he take a step forward again? And for me, he's just been as advertised. But really, the main dude is Pablo Lopez. Had a real rocky spring. Missed the second half last year, going down hurt. You're thinking, okay, Pablito, what Pablo Lopez are you going to get?
Mm-hmm.
Boy, oh boy, it's been absolutely stunning from Pablo Lopez. It really has. He's just been sensational. So that's been the real plus. Trevor Rogers, as you mentioned, you haven't seen what he's been up to. Oh boy, he got fully blown up against the Phillies. I think didn't even get through 2 innings, his shortest ever start. Funny thing is, he had a similar adventure in 2020 against the Phils as well. So something against the Phils, tipping pitches in 2020, maybe tipping pitches again. They just knew what was coming, the Phils, and it was it was not good, but he bounced back against the Braves just this weekend. And then, it's back around to the top of the rotation. So, from a Marlins perspective for this series, I've got to say, Josh, that this lines up perfectly, really perfectly for the Fish. I mean, they want to get above 500. They've struggled the last season. They were flirting around 500 for a while, couldn't get over the hump. It'd be, this is a perfect opportunity here. Some of the offense come alive. The pitching lines up perfectly. The Fish are looking to take this series, and if all goes well, take all 3 games. I think if everything goes really to plan,
they might be able to. We'll get to that in 1 second. Quick word from our sponsors here. Today's show is brought to you by our friends at BetOnline, BetOnline.net. Look, if you'd like to play some money in this series, and I suggest that you do on the Marlins, maybe in all 3 of these games, you can go to BetOnline and do so. They've got the NBA playoffs, got Major League Baseball, NHL playoffs about to start. Boxing, UFC, if you want to bet on NASCAR, Formula One, probably not want to bet on anybody involved with Mercedes right now as well. You can do all of those things at BetOnline and betonline.net today. Sleek interface. You guys can access it on your iPhone, on your computer, on your iPod Touch, whatever you got, as long as you're over 21. You can access it and go there today at BetOnline and betonline.net. BetOnline, it's where the game starts. One more question for you on the Marlins side of things. Okay, so the offense. So Soler has been struggling, but look, like this, Jorge Soler is not this. He's a one-man wrecking crew at times, but that's what he is. At times, he is a one-man wrecking crew, like we saw in the World Series. This is not the centerpiece of your offense. It's like, oh my God, this guy is the ultimate complementary piece, or even the offense at times, but you can't rely on that day to day. What's been going wrong for the Marlins offense?
Oh boy. Jorge Soler, Avisel Garcia. If you like ground outs to third base, then these boys they've been perfect for you. It has just been not good. And the other thing too, listen, this is just more major league wide.
Yeah.
Avisel Garcia, right, yesterday on the Sunday game against the Braves. Listen, Avi's a big dude. He's hit a lot of home runs in his career, and Avi thought he'd blasted a no-doubter there. I'm confident of that. The way it came off the bat, everything, he was like, that's gone. Didn't even make the warning track. So I'm not sure what MLB's doing with this
humidor. It's the baseball and the humidor, right? It's got to be. Everybody's talking about this.
Exactly.
I'm not sure what you're trying to. I've never understood why they try to continually change the baseball and sabotage themselves. It's the ultimate shooting yourself in the foot.
It really is. It epitomizes Major League Baseball in many ways. And listen, they're trying to find all these quirks to make the game the pace quicker and more action. But the fans, we love home runs. We want more
Right.
bombs.
We don't like
more
doubles
bombs.
in the gap. We want home runs. That's not. We're not here for a nice a bunt single. We're here for the long ball.
We want bombs, absolutely. So listen, it's been a slow start for the Bombers, for the Fish, no doubt. Avisel and Soler. Look at the numbers with Soler. He likes to come alive in the second half. He just cruises in this first half. Wait till after the All-Star break, unless the Marlins trade him, which it's possible if they fall out. But yeah, it's not been vintage from those boys. What they've had to lean on is Jazz Chisholm, Jesus Sanchez, effectively 2 rookies almost. And then Garrett Cooper's started to come alive too. But I think what you said, you kind of hit on it. There is no centerpiece to this offense. It's going to be death by 1,000 paper cuts, I think, type of offense, rather than, just one main stud like a kind of Soto in the lineup or a Nelly Cruz. There isn't really a centerpiece. It's just like they just kind of get momentum going and put up a 5 spot. They have done that. They have shown the ability to do it, but it's not home runs and all that kind of offense. It's just, couple of singles, couple of doubles, couple of bloops, and next thing is you got 5 on the board. So, yeah, it's not been vintage offense. Just let's flip it on his head, though, Josh. What's been going on with these Nats? Because I haven't been keeping a close eye. I did see Juan Soto started the year hot with the home run, I think, in the first game, and maybe the first run of the year for the Nats. But it looks like it's been a bit sluggish for him as well, actually.
Yeah, everybody's sucked. I mean, that's kind of except for Josh Bell. Like that's kind of the nice way of putting it. They're 6-12. They've won 1/3 of their first 18 games, and Soto he's not been typical Juan Soto, but he's hitting like 240 and his on base percentage is above 400. This is like the bottom end of what he does, and if that's the bottom end, you're a superstar. Is he to blame totally for their offensive woes? No, I just think this is a team that. It's not built to win. There's some talk of, hey, could it be fun? But I was talking to somebody last week, it's like, hey, could the Nationals make a move or two? No. The only moves they're making is the opposite direction. They throw Patrick Corbin out there every 5 days, and it's a complete disaster. His ERA is over 11 in the first four starts he's made this season. And his ERA last year was, was a 5 or in the 6s last year. The guy they're paying 24 next year, 24 the following, and then 30 some the following season. So that's not going well. There's no Steven Strasburg. Anibal Sanchez, who's 39, hasn't pitched yet in the league, since 2019. They brought him back. He hasn't pitched yet. And so this has just been a confluence of, kind of crap, if you will. And their bullpen's been good at times, but they lost Mason Thompson, a big bullpen arm for them. Sean Doolittle had come back and he's been flawless. He has not given up a run so far. He hits the IL as well. So it's injuries. It's also a team that's not built to sustain any injuries at all because they're not very good. It's their star Juan Soto has not been great. It's just nothing is coming up Nats at the moment right now.
Boy, oh boy, these rebuilds are tough, right?
Yeah, I mean, this was supposed to be a retooling, but it's really not much of one.
No, I think, yesterday, a clip that kind of, that I saw that maybe just summarized the Nats was, I think Lucius Fox, just being sick in the infield after 2 pitches.
Somebody posted what he was tired of watching the Nationals play.
Yeah,
he actually got sick watching the Nationals play, and all people were like, "Me too." So yeah, he's not alone on that one. Also, their run differential right now, I want to note this: -38.
Oh boy.
They have been getting absolutely torched, and so for Marlins fans, the good news, well, maybe it depends how you feel about these things, but they scored 6 runs in 3 innings, in 3 games against the Giants last series, 6 total. They were not competitive in 2 of the 3 games, and in 1 it was competitive, but it was a 3-run game, which the Nationals really never threatened to add on more runs to make it a closer game. So this is an offense that is reeling right now, and I'll read you. They're on a 5-game losing streak, and here's what they've scored in those 5 games: 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. Oh, and their win previous to that was a 1-0 win. So their offense has just been completely inept, and that's because they don't seem to have any. So last year when things were going well, they had Schwarber, they had Turner, they had Soto. And after that, you think you can breathe, but then there's some Josh Bell action. There's some Josh Harrison action. There's different guys behind. Like, all right, you think you can step off the gas here because the back part of the lineup's up. No, you can't. And that's where guys were taking advantage. This year, it doesn't seem like they can get guys consecutively hitting well together in a game. Like, if one guy gets a hit, the next guy in the order strikes out, and then you flip it the next time those two guys come up. That's really where it's been for them. So consistency in the order, which I'm sure Marlins fans can sympathize with as well.
Absolutely can. So we know two of the starters. The interesting question is for the Thursday game, which is my favorite game because of the time. It's a day game, so in our world, that's UK friendly. That's what it's known as in the business, right? So
yes,
UK friendly start announcer. The pitcher has not yet been announced. I'm hoping it's Patrick Corbin. Can it be?
I don't know because they had a doubleheader this weekend and they trotted out Aaron Sanchez and it went really badly.
Oh boy.
Well, not like horribly bad, but like it did. 4 runs in 4 innings, which is like a run an inning, and it's not where you want to be. Yeah, they're trying to figure out what the heck they're going to do with this pitching schedule, which has been a little messed up. They're going to see for sure Josiah Gray, and they're going to see Eric Fetty. So I would say the one thing that I can say pretty confidently is that like Josiah Gray is good. He's a good pitcher. For those of you who don't know, he was one of the guys they got in the trade for Max Scherzer. His kryptonite, which could come into play, as things warm up, is the long ball. That is where he's a fly ball pitcher. He can be a strikeout guy at times, but really he is a fly ball pitcher. And so this is a guy who's got expectations. He wants to rev his innings count up. He wants to run the number of pitches up. But the Nationals are saying, whoa, we suck. There's no reason to ask you to go 7 or 8 innings and 110 pitches if it like kills your confidence. Right now, I do think there may be some value to letting him go and then being like, okay, 3rd time through an order, here's what I can't do. Here's what I can't do. But it's that dance of managing, where he is in his career and, managing where the team is. They're trying to, and where he wants to be personally. So they're trying to figure that out. That's the one guy I can assure you, like, you'll actually see some remnants, or not remnants, but like, you'll see some stuff. You'll see like, okay, this guy's actually a pitcher. Like Eric Fetty's a former number 1 pick. It's not really gone well for him. At best, he's a 4th or 5th starter, and he's not been consistent. And then, we're trying to figure out, it might be Aaron Sanchez who pitches in that final game of the series. So, hey, 3 or 4 years ago, when you played the Nats, even 2 years ago, the one thing to guarantee you're probably going to get some pretty good pitching, right? That's the one thing he could probably give you and guarantee you. Yeah. Not these Nats. No, not anymore.
No, it's tough, right? When you don't have the rotation to lean on, it just makes games so tough, and the bullpen just feels the pain as well. It's just this kind of cyclical thing. You're just trying to find starters to give you innings, and then if they can't get the innings, then you got the bullpen being fully taxed.
I want to hit on that really fast. So last weekend in their the first 2 games of the series, I calculated it was like 12 innings that the bullpen pitched in the first 2 games, and they gave up 1 earned run, and then they got tagged in the final game. But throughout the weekend, Peter, not one starter made it through a full 5 innings. Not one during the course of the weekend. And this was a problem that happened to them last year. They could not get, the starters, like, you can't think about how good is my bullpen going to be if they're asked to pitch over half of the game consistently, right? Like in every single game this past week, the bullpen pitched over half of the game in the weekend. That can't happen. That cannot happen. So yeah, that's where they're at right now.
Well, I tell you, I'm looking forward to seeing Josiah Gray again. We did see him last year after the trade. I recall it may have actually been a start where the Marlins prospect Edward Cabrera, I think, may have came up, and they may have faced off. So it was a kind of rookie matchup. But talk about fly balls and the long balls. Like I said, the Marlins haven't hit many home runs, but the guys that have been from the left side of the dish with Jesus Sanchez and Jazz Chisholm. So them boys have got a lot of confidence right now. They'll be looking to tuck into Josiah, I think, and try and touch him for a couple of bombs.
So last game where Josiah pitched, the entire lineup was left-handed pitching. It was like that or the 2 games ago. So somebody
Right.
tried against them, and actually at times went well, at times didn't go well. But the lefties, yeah, they've gotten to him so much. So I think the Marlins bats might have a good chance. One more word from our sponsors here, then we'll get out of here. Today's show is brought to you by RockAuto.com. Go to RockAuto.com today for any part, anything you need for your car or truck, daily driver, work car, whatever it is. They've got there. Why choose to spend 30, 50, or even 100% more for the same parts from a chain store or a car dealership? For example, Honda Odyssey fuel pump, $353 from a chain store, $216 at rockauto.com. Used to own one of those cars. Great vehicle, but do not pay more than you have to. Go to rockauto.com today. See all the parts available for your car or truck. Right, Locked On in their How'd You Hear About Us box. That way they know we sent you. Amazing selection, always low prices, all the parts your car will ever need. That's rockauto.com. Peter, where can people find you and your work and all of its variety?
Mainly Twitter. No TikToks, no Instagrams. Hit me up on
Same
Twitter.
here.
At Miami Marlins _UK. Don't forget that underscore. And of course, if you need your Marlins content, more of it, Locked On Marlins, of course.
You guys can find me at Josh Neighbors _. Find the show at LO _Nationals. And you can find us on wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube as well. Peter, it was a pleasure, man.
Same to you. A lot of fun. Looking forward to this series. Go Fish.
Yeah. It'll probably be a Go Fish series. I'll be honest with that.